Hello, welcome to this Steam Release podcast. I'm your host, Dewey Bear, and joining me today, as always, is my delightful co-host, fresh from the North Pole. She's been wrapping everyone's presents, and now she's all done, so they should be on their way. Welcome, Roadie Pie.
Hello.
This must be the worst time of year for you as far as work goes.
Just busy all day, busy all night, but them presents got to get done.
Yeah, it's been this week I've been doing a ton of shopping for presents, and I think I've got everyone except I've got a sister. I haven't found what I should get her because I've been trying to find out what to get. Anyhow, joining us as well in Christmassy glee is HappyKitty. Welcome aboard.
Hi, thanks for having me back.
Yes, I'm so happy to have you back. And it's Happy Kitty, so __, so extra pause. We've got a special episode today where we're gonna talk about our top 5 games of the year, each of us, as well as the top 5 games we weren't able to see. But before we get around to that, games still in fact released this week. The developers have not taken their holiday break yet, so starting with wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. What did we play this week? Starting with HappyKitty.
Oh, well, I suppose it should come to no surprise that I've been spending all of my time on 14 with Endwalkers. Finished the story with a couple of friends. We did the last trial together. It was a lot of fun. And I look forward to seeing what the devs and story people come up with next, considering this is the end of Zodiac and Heidelin's story.
Yep. Yeah, I think I'm only halfway through. But did you would you say you enjoyed it?
Oh gosh, yes. By the way, spoilers, Moon's haunted.
What?
Moon's haunted.
Right, no more spoilers. but yeah, I also I guess that kind of leans into what I played this week, because I only played one game, and it was Endwalker, but and I finished it, and now that's now I'm kind of debating in my head which expansion gave me the most emotional pain. And once I figure that out, I'll know whether this expansion was my favorite one or not. I will say, not about story or anything, but just about pacing. I think this one has a pacing that's closer to A Realm Reborn. Unlike A Realm Reborn, every quest has something important happening.
Yeah.
But every quest has something important happening. But sometimes there's some steps, I don't know what I would cut, but there are just some steps where okay. A part of it is that the stakes are so big that it's just okay, let's get back to the big stuff. But it is also nice because in a lot of those little stuff, you get all these neat character moments that you start crying about. So I am conflicted. I don't think the pacing's nearly as that cinematic as Shadowbringers was, but it still has those moments that takes it to new heights that I've never seen in any RPG or MMO. So I think it's probably a good idea because it is kind of a slower pace, it is probably a good idea to take it at a slower path. But I desperately didn't want to get spoiled. And unfortunately, my brother plays the game, and I knew that he was gonna slip if I didn't finish. So.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I finished, and highly recommend. But Roadie, who has some variety, a balanced gaming diet this past week, she'll let us know what she played.
True, because I thought, because I'm someone that needs a break from certain things, so I can't play 14 just at breakneck speed. I need something to give me little chunks of a break. So I did I finished Toem, so I enjoyed that, but you'll be pleased that I played and finished Village.
It's awesome.
Yes, oh my god. So Oh, this was not like in the category of so bad it's good. Unfortunately, this was just kind of bad.
Bad.
It was just kind of bad. Oh my god! It was. But the thing is, there were some like really good elements to it, though. That's what kills me about this. So the considering what camera they were using or what equipment they were using, there was some like very like interesting, like very very good like cutaways and everything like that. But some of the filming was like painfully slow. It's like, yeah, okay, I've walked this bit, I can't press escape or anything to like cut this bit or anything like that. So it was just like, I just found it really annoying. And the story, it's not there. It's not quite as coherent as it should be. Basically, I think they should have. I don't know what went wrong. Maybe they should have storyboarded it better. Perhaps, I don't know. I don't know what it would need to get on a better story track. You see that like kind of portal thing going on, like because you go to the well and the well takes you to like an intersection or another completely different part of town or something right at the beginning, and you're like, how is it that you go to the well and you can end up somewhere completely different? And it's like, and then later on there's like a portal thing happening and you're like, what? But I don't know if the portal thing happening is because you're going to another dimension, which kind of do later part in the game. Like, it's very strange. It's a very strange game.
Very ambitious.
Your main thing is that you've got to pick grapes from your vineyard, and you have to find a bucket. But the lights don't work because electricity's been turned off because the governor of the village or something is turned off the electricity, and so you've got to find a way to turn everything back on and put everything right. And yeah, and it just gets weird. So
I have a question, right? If this is episode 1, will you be playing episode 2 when it comes out?
Oh my god! So,
hard-hitting questions.
So, if I suppose like if the dev was open to like maybe hear some of the critiques and like maybe improve on it, then I might have a look to see what they've done, see if they've improved, because there's definitely elements in there that are like really interesting and like are quite good. But yeah, I just think the game design aspect needs to be a lot sharper, a lot more like edited and thought about better. I think that would be it. But I also played an airport for aliens currently run by dogs.
Oh yeah,
and
that's a mouthful.
Yeah. Oh my god. So as well as being a very very long title, I would say each game map is very very big, and to its hindrance, it was not. I was hoping that that you would be able to like do all these cool things that you could right at the start of it before you go on. And when you go on to the next airport, though, the map's just too big. It's just like it's not fun, and you just you wanted to go around and you want to explore as well, but it's like it's just they just made it too big to make it interesting, I suppose. So yeah, it's a bit. There are like small little quests that you can do and everything, but yeah, it's I only got to the second airport and I was just like, no. But there's some interesting dialogue. There's like a theme of always like finding the one you love sort of thing, and being patient with one another, and like what's a healthy relationship. So yeah, it's quite nice. That's quite nice. I played Rain on Your Parade.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. This is lots of fun. I would say this is lots of fun, but it is I would say it's a game that you play, maybe for half an hour at a time, just to blow off some steam or something like that. Because it's like, otherwise it might get a bit repetitive. They put different kinds of challenges in and everything like that. But yeah, maybe you just play it for short stints at a time. It was good. Raven Quick was watching me play it, and it was a right laugh. Some of the challenges were just fantastic. I couldn't do the stealth level though, but that was fine. I could still like continue on to another level instead. So I'm glad I wasn't like cut off from like being able to progress, because I'm just not very good at stealth. Yeah. And I played Before Your Eyes, and this was like very much kind of like a walking sim. It had the added mechanic of using your webcam as a instead of your mouse, because you're using your eyes to you blink your eyes and you move on to the next thing, and I couldn't quite get it calibrated right. It was calibrated at first, but then it just like it wasn't calibrating properly, so it was just like flicking very quickly through things. But yeah, it's and also I imagine if I did continue with it, because it was like an hour and a half, I think. Yeah, an hour and a half. Like holding like your non-blinking eyes, just like holding it so you don't move on to the next scene, because every time a metronome comes up, if you blink, you'll move on to the next scene. But there is conversation still happening, and you want to like listen to those. So it's like, oh, I'm holding my eyes like that. It's a difficult thing to do. But yeah, it's an interesting story. It's about you're on the Sea of Souls, and you're looking back on your life, and you're telling the ferryman. You're telling him about your life and whether you're worthy to go on to the good place, I would say. So yeah, you're recounting your story, your life story, and it has all the feels. Just warning, it has all the feels, but yeah. I'd say it was pretty good, but at the same time, I'm like, it's okay, but it's not like there's enough gameplay in there. But it's an interesting concept. I like the concept, and the story is like fairly compelling as well. And then I played Bad End Theatre. And I played a round. I would say I played a round of Bad End Theatre. So yeah, and that was it was pretty good. I would say, like, because you have to set the personality of the players in there. So there are like 4 characters. There are 4 characters in there. There's the hero, the maiden, the minion, and the overlord. And you set. Once you've done a playthrough of how they're going to react to whatever encounters happen, that is then set. And so when you do the next encounter, you can there's a tick box, and you can say, okay, so I want them to be aggressive, or I want them to be like this. And so when you play another character and they go to interact with them, they're going to have a different reaction than the first time you met them, if that makes sense. And you can see on a map, on a graph, on like what decisions that you've made and what you can still kind of do without it spoiling it. And it's like, oh, that's good, so I can keep track. But yeah, it's hilarious. It is really good. I had a really good time. But yeah, I only played like one round. I played tried each character to see what the story was going to be. So yeah, I recommend it. Absolutely recommend it. And that playthrough was only 24 minutes. I imagine when I play through it again, it's going to be much quicker because I know most of the dialogue. I'm only on like 2 more to go, guys. Don't worry. So the next one was I played Overboard. So I only did one round of Overboard. So this was in this sort of like realm of I wasn't sure if I was going to like this game because I'm like very bad at lying and just like being convincing. I'm like, I would never do that. No, I would never push my husband overboard. Well, that sort of thing. So yeah, you're this actress, you're this Asian actress, and you're going on the cruise to America to start your new life with your aristocratic husband, and you throw him overboard, and you've got 5 hours before you arrive at your destination, and you've got to somehow like get through and try and like head people off, or maybe like, you know, get rid of a few more people so they don't snitch on you. So it was just that first playthrough was just kind of what I did was I just tried to keep my head down. So I wouldn't like get noticed, and I was thinking, hopefully that'll work. I just got to make it through this hours. But when you're about to disembark or something, they go, just a word with everybody in the restaurant, and then like it just all unraveled. And yeah, I got arrested, but damn it. But I kind of know like what, after that one playthrough, I know like what things I need to kind of do to, or which people I will need to maybe interact with to try and, or bump off to like make things like, so I don't get caught. Oh my God. And then the final game that I played and finished was Genesis Noir.
Noir.
Oh yeah, Overboard I played 30 minutes. One playthrough was like 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. So Genesis Noir, this is one I kickstarted. It's interesting. It's very interesting. It looks beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And when I was first playing it, it was really exciting, really interesting. There were a few things though. It's like I don't know what the dev wants me to do. I don't know what they want me to do here, or you know, there's definitely a few aspects of that happening, especially at the start, because I was like, at one point I was looking at this board of things that you're trying to basically stop a murder from happening. You're trying to stop Miss Mass from being murdered. The characters involved, they're different aspects of the universe, I would say. So there's Miss Mass, and you think you're like maybe time. You're representative of time. And so I was looking at this board and I was like, oh God, now what do I do? Do I need to solve something on this board? And I spent like 10 minutes trying to figure it out. And basically what I had to do was just click off at the side. And I didn't realize that because there's so many different like different kind of movements that they don't necessarily incorporate in very well on what you have to do. It's mainly walking sim rather than like a point and click. It's very unusual. It's a very unusual game. I think even though I've got like 4.3 hours on the clock, I do feel it kind of overstayed its welcome, because there was a point I thought, it's got to end here. It's got to wrap up everything. But then it's like we were talking to all these different characters that you'd encountered, and they had like 3 different things scenarios that they were going through, and it's just like, oh my god, no, please, God, no, oh my god, it was just let this be over, hurry up, let's just let this be over now. So yeah, maybe if I didn't like play it all in one like go, maybe I would have enjoyed it a bit more, but it was just I don't know, definitely the first half of it was really spectacular and really, really nice to play through, but then yeah, it just kind of
fell off a cliff after that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it got like super psychedelic and just like, what? This was already weird and now it's just going weird.
All right. Well, that's awesome. So you've got that's quite a good list of games, and mostly 2021 games too. So
no, all of those are 2021 games.
Yeah, all of them. Okay. So are any of them on your best of the year?
Well, you'll have to find out at the end of the show.
Yes, we will. All right. So with that, we're going to get on to our release list of hidden gems this week. Starting with the first game is a standalone expansion, I guess. It's a standalone game, but it continues the story of Shadow Tactics. That is Shadow Tactics, Aiko's Choice.
Let's see. Aiko's Choice is the anticipated standalone expansion to the acclaimed stealth strategy game Shadow Tactics. Set in Edo, Japan, you take control of the skillful Kunoichi adept Aiko and her deadly assassin friends to hunt down the ghosts of her past. I already butchered most of that. I'm really sorry.
Kunoichi. But yeah, it's this one I was kind of fascinated by just reading. I didn't know the Shadows Tactics was a super story-based game, but like reading the reviews, they're like, oh, it gives such a bittersweet like wrap-up of this character's story and like this character's background and stuff. Just like, wait, what? I didn't realize that Shadow Tactics kind of had that, because I was just like, it's a stealth game. But apparently each of the characters has this like rich backstory, and this one kind of went and fleshed out one of the characters, and that's like, oh, now I kind of want to play Shadow Tactics. just seeing that there's all these people. So this game was only about 5 hours, I think, if you do it all correct. And you don't have to like retry, because it seems it's like between 5 and 15 hours. Basically depending on whether you're 100%ing or whether you're really good at stealth, etc. But it apparently does have a very satisfying, bittersweet ending from all the reviews I've read, so I was really interested to see that.
Nice. It looks quite nice as well. It looks really nice.
It does. It looks like a lot of fun, and I'm kind of fond of stealth games. However, the top-down perspective is really weird for me, and I think I'd have a hard time playing this. However, was sitting back and watching somebody demolish this game, or not, would probably be a lot of fun.
That's the thing with games that I'm not good at. I sometimes really enjoy watching other people play games that they're not good at, just because it's like, catharsis.
yes, I'm not the only one that has this problem, I see.
Yes, but some people are just like, no, because some people are fun to watch when they're frustrated. I don't think I'm very fun to watch when I'm frustrated, so, but some people are, so...
this is by the Deliac Entertainment, so they do like a lot of point and click games.
Yeah, yep, they do.
But this is 10% off right now to for the next 21 hours, and it's £15.29, and it's standing at 91% with 747 user reviews.
Yeah, even though it is a relatively short game, it's getting like very positive reviews, and I think it's because it's the player base. They know these characters, and it's like, I finally get the answers to this. So, yep. All right, on to our second game, Spirit Oath.
Rebuild the world, tile by tile and create patterns to summon units to your command as masses of enemies attack your core. Cast spells to assist your troops in battle and don't stop until annihilation of the enemies.
So this... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so this looks like a really cute tile builder, tile board builder. I'm not big on strategy games, but the artwork is so cute, and it blends the light and the dark just right between the characters and the board. So it's like some dark areas aren't as dark because there are light characters in it. So it doesn't have too much of either, or at least that's what I've seen.
I like the character design, the enemy designs and everything. They're really nice, and the artwork is just it's just really good. It's not my kind of like strategy game that I'm into, but you can tell there's a lot of work that's been put into this. And it's currently at 91% with 12 user reviews, and it's a massive 40% off right now for the next 21 hours, and that's £6.83. So it's a pretty good price.
Yeah, $8.99. I hope this one gets picked up more, just because it's got that degree of visual polish that I think deserves to get picked up. It's just, with these tile-based games, it's hard to tell whether it's going to be an enjoyable game based on, like, there's a lot of things that have to be done right. So, and what is the interesting twist on their mechanics, etc. But I really hope folks do end up checking it out. But yeah, that's Spirit Oath by Triangle Square. Our final game for Monday is Love 3.
Let's see, sorry, it's taking a while to load up. Load 3 is a precision platformer where you control 5-8, a lone survivor searching for others in a mechanical, apocalyptic world. Face challenging obstacles, discover hidden secrets, and try to find hope within the hopeless as you overcome each new danger.
Yeah, the designer Fred Wood kind of specializes in these super minimal pixel art games. And thus far, his entire Love series is well reviewed. So he makes good platforming games.
I feel the simple aesthetic works in its favor, and is very easy to understand what needs to be done. I think that the fact that you can play levels from the first two games, even if you've never picked them up, is a very smart move. Because then it gives the player a sense of what the other games were before it, and they might be more inclined to pick them up.
Oh, I think that's really cool, and I like the fact that it's got certain indicators, like if you go from here, you'll speed up and you'll go. Everything just is really well designed. For something so minimalistic, it's and that's the thing. If you are going minimalistic, the design's got to be really tight.
The design has to be tight, the motion has to be smooth, and he really did hit it home, because here it has that nice satisfying thing with your timing right and all your jumps are right. It just looks like you're flowing, and that's great. That's a really good feeling when you're playing a platformer.
Yeah, and it's a free demo as well, which is always good.
Yeah.
It is. There's no discount currently. It is £7.19, and it's standing at 100% positive with 18 user reviews.
That is $9.99 USD. Fred Wood's other games, which includes Love 2, which is also very positive, as well as Love. They're all positive. And he's got another game called Pulstario, which is more of a top-down rocket traveling game. Yeah, not a shmup, but I don't remember what the exact term for it is. Anyhow, next up.
Is it faster than light game?
Yeah, kind of, except you don't have all the micromanagement. You're just moving the ship around. Yeah. Yep. Okay, Tuesday, December 7th is Heavenly Bodies.
Wrangle the hands and arms of a 1970s space cosmonaut and push, pull, and twist your way through an incredibly precarious range of physically simulated stellar scenarios, where without gravity, nothing is still, nothing is secure, and nothing is simple.
So I saw this one. I'm trying to remember where I originally saw this preview. Was it like the Game Awards or some other event? Maybe it was a Nintendo event or something. I do remember seeing this somewhere. I just don't remember where. But it's got this cool mechanic where each button that you're controlling is controlling a different limb. And so it's almost like a Bennett Foddy type situation. And they do strongly recommend you use a controller for this, if I remember correctly. You can use a mouse and keyboard, I believe, but they're like, nah, you should really use controllers for the like ideal experience. But it's just kind of one of those part frustration simulator, part puzzle game. It looks like it could be really fun.
I could see myself enjoying watching someone play this. And, well, you know what we were saying earlier, it's a lot of fun to watch someone get frustrated with this. But I do like, I really like the way the lighting is in this. It does have that real like space feel to it and everything. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, this really reminded me of a lot of the like Surgeon Sim, Mechanic Sim stuff like that, but it seemed a lot more polished and more what's the word I'm for?
Professional? Maybe?
Yes. Yeah, I think that'll work. But yeah, it's one of those that it's probably going to be like a Bennett Foddy sort of situation, but it's going to have that nice satisfying feel to it as well. Without and you know, it won't have that, oh, you messed up, now you have to start all the way at the beginning of the game. You probably just start off at the mission
that's probably the case.
Yeah, there's frustration, but it's not like, maybe not like you're screaming with frustration.
I've seen many a person like break their keyboard with Bennett Foddy. Like people that wouldn't normally do that, just like, what do I do? They're just so bad. Anyhow, so yeah, that is Heavenly Bodies. It looks great, and you know it has great lighting when I don't mention it. Because when I see bad lighting, I'm gonna go like, it offends me to my core. Anyhow, on to
it's 10% off right now for the next 45 hours at £13.94, and it's standing at 97% positive with 236 user reviews. How much is it in US dollars?
$17.99 USD. Okie doke. On to White Shadow. Nope, this is the wrong one. White Shadows.
The wolves are watching. Venture through a captivating but brutal dystopia while our young adventurer, Raven Girl, will travel through this huge city's brightest highs and delve to its darkest depths on her perilous journey of discovery and finding her destiny where hope seems in short supply.
So I got a very Little Nightmares vibe from this. Which isn't a bad thing. Little Nightmares is absolutely a wonderful game. That being said, the coloring that they went for it was very interesting. They kind of went with a noir kind of black and white lighting, which is really cool, and I think it'll probably add more to the atmosphere that they were going for. So I think it'll be a really good success.
Yeah, two-tone going for the whole just black and white is kind of an interesting move. It can really help, and this is another thing. Like here, if this was color and they were using the same glow effects, I would probably be really annoyed with this. But with it being just black and white, it all blends correctly. If those lights were any other color, I would be like, that insane glow. But here, it does establish a style, but it's also a really smart way to save money. So I'm impressed. I'm quite impressed with it. Yep.
Yeah, it looks. I like it because it looks like super intricate, and it just looks like you said, it has that noir feel to it, and yeah, I just love that kind of noir feeling, like detective kind of game. But it's not, obviously, it isn't a detective game. There is a lot of stealth elements in this, which is not. It's not for me. No, I'm not a stealth person, but this looks absolutely beautiful. It is 10% off right now for the next 45 hours at £15.29, and it's standing at very positive at 84% with 83 user reviews.
And that's 10% off, $17.99. I'm really curious how they did this. Was they developed it in color and then applied the grayscale, or if they developed it in grayscale? And I'm kind of wondering, because like original Noir movies, like of course everything's naturally color, and I'm wondering what way gives the best effects. I don't know. I'm gonna have to. That's something to ask the developers, I guess. Anyhow. On to Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator.
Buy, sell, and trade organs in a strange and evolving universe. Dive into the quivering innards of alien capitalism in the sci-fi body horror market tycoon game you didn't know you needed. So this is a game from the developer that did an alien airport run by dogs. So it's there's certain I'm not entirely liking the color palette, but it kind of works for what it is, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm after playing in the last game they made, I'm curious as to if the story is a bit more compact, or at least the mechanics are. So yeah, I'm wondering if there's like a better pacing in this one.
Would you say you're hoping the story is more fleshed out?
Oh no!
I had to. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
I'm here for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Fleshed out. It has quite a striking aesthetic going on that I guess only works in this context. But it's I love these kind of like very tongue-in-cheek, like super dark games that the gameplay itself is actually like you could have replaced it with anything else. But it just adds an extra layer of like comedy and richness that can add to all the dialogue. So
and also, sorry.
I was gonna say, honestly, it's probably, and I don't know, I might be pushing this here, but it seems like something that you could possibly learn from in the long run, because it is a trading sim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're gonna learn about how certain markets dictate certain prices and stuff like that. As weird as that sounds.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm not sure how like into it it goes into. It's just like whether it's too similar. It's similar to what we have. The real markets are like. I'm curious about that. However, I have to say there is a little Easter egg here. Chad Shakespeare, who received from one of the screenshots, is in the game. He was in the little doggy. He was in the airport game. high condition organs, and he's decisive, eccentric, quick-witted, cajillionaire, legally not a dog.
I love it when a developer has like a through line through all their games where it's like they just like have a little signature. I love that. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, this is standing at very positive at 85% with 71 user reviews. And it's 15% off for the next 45 hours at £12.75.
$16.99 USD. On to Wolfstride.
Sorry. Wolfstride, come on. Get wrecked in this immature, grown-up RPG about a trio of troublemakers stumbling their way through a giant mecha tournament. Repair and upgrade the team's hand-me-down rig, pick up odd jobs to pay the bills, and battle the best of the best, all while running from the regrettable choices of the past.
It's got some really I like the pixel art style, and then it's got this 3D style that's also very different. It's like, and then they've got 4 or 5 different art styles going on here, which would normally annoy me a lot, but I think they kind of eliminated some of the visual chaos by doing it in the grayscale. Again, clever usage of grayscale.
Yeah, this is just like there's like areas that look like that would be in a point and click game. I feel that look like very typical point and click game, and then you've got like the 3D sort of fighting style, and then you've got like these what look like mini games, like old school mini games sort of thing. Mm-hmm. There's so much packed into this. Yeah,
there's all these wacky mini games, like there's cooking, there's laundry, there's all sorts of strange stuff in this game that are all kind of crammed in. It's very bizarre.
And with all of the stuff in it, I'm hoping that it's not like an overload sensory. You know, I get what they're trying to do with the storytelling and the stuff like that, but sometimes less is more. And so I'm hoping this isn't going to be one of those cases, because it looks like it could be a very good storytelling game.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and especially the whole tongue-in-cheek thing can kind of add to that. It can really enhance it when you do have a more... I don't know if they're going to do this, but I love it when a comedy game kind of like you have the mistakes of the past and it suddenly gets serious, and it's like even more serious and emotionally effective because you've been kind of laughing with these characters the whole time.
Yeah.
So I do hope they do something like that. But yeah, that is Wolfstride.
Oh, this is published by Raw Fury, so they do quite a lot of, again, another publisher that does a lot of point and click games, a lot of narrative games. So yeah, I'm very curious about this now. But again, as HappyKitty said, sorry, I'm worried that they've just like thrown a load of stuff into it that there's going to be maybe a lot of aspects that I don't like the gameplay of because of the like different kind of gameplay styles have been thrown into it. So
it does, yeah, it's a turn-based battle system, so that's good to see as well. So that's not too much of it's not a situation where you're like jumping into a platforming, so or combat. So that's cool. That's good to see.
That's good. Yeah, I don't mind turn-based. That's the thing. It's like if you got like kind of like point and click sort of narrative aspects to things, it's like I don't want them to things to speed up, and then you've got like this really fast-paced action sort of thing happening, and it's like, no, I'm got whiplash now. I've got massive whiplash. But it is on it's 10% off right now for the next 45 hours at £10.79, and it's standing at 91% positive with 80 user reviews.
Yep. And that is $13.49 USD at 10% off. On to our final Tuesday game, Escape Logan Estate.
A visit to the Logan estate leaves a family in pieces. Play as 3 different family members to explore and solve puzzles to reveal the mystery surrounding the estate.
Wonder if it's literally in pieces. I'm kind of curious. Because it sounds, although it's not like the top tags of horror, so yeah. It's dark, but it's not horror. So I doubt that's going to be the end result. You never know.
So, of course, puzzle games. Woo! But you know, it's got a very nice aesthetic, and with playing as 3 different characters, I'm not wondering if maybe they have different ways of solving some of these puzzles, and if you'll get puzzle repeats with having to solve them in a different order or a different situation and stuff like that. It'll be really interesting, and I could see myself, if this is a good enough game, I could see myself playing this over and over again, just for the puzzle aspect. And if the story is there, you know, that's even better.
Yeah, it's I'm with you on that one. It's you know, someone else who loves point and click games, and I do like it when there's different characters going through the same story, and you have to play like different ones, and they're all doing. Maybe you can switch between them, and it doesn't feel so linear. Mm-hmm. And it's like it's as if you get stuck on something that, you know, you definitely can't think about how to get through with one character. So okay, let me go to this other person. Let's see where this story is where their story is taking me. So yeah, it's interesting. I definitely putting this on my wish list because I'm very curious about this one.
Okay. Oh yeah, and it's 15% off, only $3.39 USD if you want to pick it up.
Yeah, that's for the next 45 hours at £2.45. And unfortunately, there's only 1 user review.
Wednesday, December 8th, Looking for Aliens.
Come on. Aliens are among us. Can you find traces of them on Earth, the Moon, and the edges of the galaxy? Find all the clues to prove the existence of alien civilizations, and discover how making fried eggs can end up in a monster attack.
So I'm going to be completely honest. When I read the description, I did not think hidden objects. In fact, I was very confused as to what kind of game this was supposed to be. I had to actually scroll down and read more in depth of what it was. That being said, it looks like a very interesting game, and I'm a huge fan of story hidden adventures. So it's very different as far as art styles than the ones that I'm used to playing, but I think I would probably like this one a lot.
Where's Waldo likes? I love these types of games. So
yeah,
man, this looks so cute.
It reminds me of Hidden Folks or something, a bit like that.
Yeah,
different color palette, I think.
Also, what's great about these games, especially if you've got little kids, it's just like, okay, here. They can spend hours in front of these games when you need them to. So, but yeah, Looking for Aliens. Very cool. Yeah,
this is I think one that's going on my wish list. As I like hidden object games as well, and I love the Hidden Folks games as well. They're just fantastic. And this has a free demo, so if you're unsure, you can try before you buy. And it is 20% off until the 15th. That's £8.23, and it's currently at 100% positive with 10 user reviews.
This is another one of those games published by Alawar, which over time, like my view of Alawar has been changing. They've been really kind of leaning into more of their more kind of stuff that I would look at as quality, kind of, you know, this looks more like a game, and it's a bit less of the same art style just slapped onto, you know, a 2D space over and over and over. I'm really liking this. They've had their premium thing for a long time, but I've always identified Alawar with those cheap browser games, and it's really cool to see them have this be more of a common feature for me to see. And you know, there's hope when you see a ton of money going into mobile and browsing games. You're like, oh, is it ever going to come back? And it does come back. There's quite a few of them that are publishing really great games. Not that there's definitely good browser and mobile games, but you know, it's not the same. All right, now to the Red Lantern.
The Red Lantern is a narrative dog sledding game about survival. You play as the Musher who, along with her team of 5 sled dogs, must find her way home. Care for your dogs, discover their stories, and learn how to navigate the unknowns of the Alaskan wilderness and prepare for your new life.
This looks so cool.
Let's find someone that compliments your squirrel.
Very cold as well.
Yeah, I think I saw. I can't remember. I think I saw like a demo of this like somewhere, but I can't remember. But I remember like watching it and thinking, "Oh my god, this is really." It got quite harsh at one point. It does tag as a choose your own adventure, so yeah, that you can get into some really like tricky, sticky parts, and I imagine if I did play this, I would get the bad ending.
Yeah. You know, eaten by wolves or having to put down one of your own dogs. That seems like that seems like that might happen in this kind of story.
Oh yeah, no, don't want to kill a doggy.
So this is a very interesting game, and I've got a relative who lives up in the Alaska wilderness for half the year. So I would love to get his perspective on a game like this and how accurate it is to some of the challenges you would face in some of these situations. It's very cute, and I have to say it's probably going to be a 10 out of 10 game because you can pet the dogs.
Oh yeah. That's good.
Yay! They're so cute and fluffy.
Aww.
Let's go. Let's get out.
But yeah, I do like the art style for this, and it's from what I saw, the demo of this, it was like it was
All right, Chomper.
like it was really good, and the story was like really good as well, and it kind of had you on the edge of your seat of what was going to happen next, sort of thing. But yeah, this is 20% off right now to the 15th of December, and it's £15.59, and it currently only has 3 user reviews.
Yep, $19.99 USD. Great aesthetic going on. I do hope it gets a bit more attention, especially if it's really, really good. So
I do wonder how long this is. I know it's like a choose your own adventure, so you know, there's replay value, but I'm wondering like how long one playthrough is.
the averages are looking pretty good. So the lowest is 7.3 and the highest is 15.8. So that's a pretty decent spread for the price range.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. On to Deflector, Specimen 0.
Is a high-octane bullet hell roguelite set in a deadly world. Upgrade your character with the DNA you find, evolve him further during your runs, and explore the furthest reaches of this microcosm. Or die trying.
So I got a very Dead Cells top-down vibe to it. And Dead Cells is a very successful game, so I think players of Dead Cells are really going to enjoy this. That being said, looking at the developer and what they're releasing, especially what they're releasing with next, this kind of looks like a full game trailer teaser for their next game coming out.
Yeah, it is. I didn't realize. Normally, I don't include games like this, but yeah, this is a basically kind of a trailer for their full game. Wow. It's very impressive looking, considering that I just looked at it as like, wow, this is a full game, and I didn't even think to myself like, wait a second, why is it free?
But yeah,
that makes sense.
So, it's still, so even if it's kind of like a trailer demo or whatever, it's still nice. It's still nice, and definitely one to maybe pick up and play if it's something to interest you.
And people love free demos, and a free demo that's actually a full game leading up into a fuller game. People are going to play this, they're probably going to like it, and they're probably going to be really excited. So the developer was really smart in how they decided to do this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That said, it is standing at 89% positive with 19 user reviews. I'm wondering what the main criticisms are.
Yeah, because usually it's pretty easy to give a positive rating.
Yeah, to something that's free, yeah.
All right, the base of the demo seems fine, but the aggressive way they repeatedly shove, add to Steam wishlist. Oh, okay. And the social media links in your face is obnoxious. Oh, that's not something you should be doing.
No, definitely not.
Never have it in your game. Never have it as an in-game thing, because it's, you can already see that in your on the Steam page.
And the fact that this demo seems to be only about an hour and a half long, like the content you can actually play through in this self-contained demo, that there's no need to just have it on the start menu. Like, hey, try it, wish this the full game, and then at the end, when you have the credits, voila. You don't have to do it anytime during the gameplay. Ooh.
I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Sometimes simpler is better.
Yeah, less is more. So yeah, it as far as combat goes, I am kind of interested in the full release. It's in early access right now, which I won't be picking that up, of course. Oh no, it will release in early access. Probably in January 2022. I'll add it to my wish list and check it out. Oh, right. Oh, my brother might bring some food, and that's all I can smell now. Ugh. Okay. On to buffet night.
So very apt that you just got food in. A short action adventure game following the gluttonous buffet knight who gobbles up at everything and spits them back at his foes. Grow bigger and bigger to face the evil demon chef, but who knows what would happen when your appetite grows out of control.
Question: is this Kirby?
Yeah, it is kind of Kirby-esque in that way, eh?
That being said, I love the art style. It's very bright. It's very colorful. It's got a bit of a kind of a cartoonish vibe to it, which is absolutely wonderful for games like these. You never want to put yourself in a too serious situation with games like these. But it seems like it's going to be really fun. But I can definitely see Kirby mechanics with this game.
Mm-hmm.
That and again, Kirby's great. It's not a bad.
Yeah, it's like Kirby with a Zelda perspective, because I don't think there's platforming or anything like that. But it's a cool combination.
Yeah, some of the aspects of the maps, they look quite crunchy. Some of it looks very crunchy, but some of it looks quite nice. I know they're trying to stick with the style, but there's some of it doesn't look that great, I feel. But it's kind of cute. I feel some of it, maybe the scale is a little bit too small, but that's maybe because I'm looking on the the Steam page. I don't know how it looks like when you're actually playing it.
Yep.
But
so,
yeah. It's a free game. It's a free game.
It's a free game, and it was actually developed in RPG Maker, which they used a lot of custom assets, and so that's why it doesn't look like an RPG Maker game. There are great RPG Maker games, and they're great because you can't tell that they are. But yeah, so they decided to release it as free because it was made during a game jam.
Oh, nice. Well, it's standing at 100% positive with 29 user reviews.
All right, and yeah, on to Transiruby by Skipmore.
Explore the mysteries of an unknown land. Transiruby is a Metroidvania game where you explore the world as a cyborg protagonist named Sarubi. Slash and shoot your way to reveal its hidden secrets.
So the pixel art in this game, let me see. Let me get up to it. It looks just really well polished. It's got this pretty style to it that I quite like. Some of the corners are a bit too sharp. Yeah, well, the corners are too sharp. There should be more rounding going on. But there is texture, like they don't have a lack of textures. There's quite a bit of texture work. So it helps with that.
So when I first saw this, I got a nostalgia feeling, and it wasn't like a way back when nostalgia feeling. It was like, I've seen this game. I know I've seen this game. Where have I seen this game? And looking at it again, it's finally come to mind. It's a Celeste.
Yeah, it does have that sort of Celeste feel to it, doesn't it?
Except Celeste was a going up. This is a Metroidvania, which means you're going to be coming back to areas. So it's going to be an interesting game, to say the least. It's very bright, very colorful. Again, like you said, the art is very polished. I think fans of Celeste are probably going to enjoy this game. And probably enjoy that it's similar yet different.
Yeah, and speaking of similar yet different, there's actually a game that released this week that I didn't include on the list because it looked exactly like a clone of Loop Hero.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and what bothered me about it is the title also seemed to suit too similar. Like, had they given a different title and maybe some slightly different like menu designs, I would have considered it because it's not the same game. It has different mechanics going on. But, it rubbed me the wrong way. And here, this is not a case. This is clearly like an homage to an art style that's really loved by a lot of people. So,
yep.
It does look beautiful though. It looks fantastic, and it looks like a very fun Metroidvania. And there is a free demo, and it is £11.39, and it's currently standing at 95% positive with 22 user reviews. But I love the color palette on it. I just love the art style. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's just a really warm color palette. I like that. Very warm and bright. On to Wytchwood with a Y.
Wytchwood is a crafting adventure game set in a land of gothic fables and fairy tales. As the old witch of the woods, explore a strange countryside, collect magic ingredients, brew sorcerous spells, and pass judgment upon a capricious cast of characters.
Capricious. That's a dictionary word.
Yeah, I had to pause there. I was like, what? Oh yeah, that's what the word is. Yeah.
It's so hearing that this was like this is a top-down crafting RPG so it's a bit of an ARPG a little bit. There's some combat, but it seems most of the focus is about gathering. It's got this really neat storybook 2D aesthetic. Really nice. Kind of reminds me of what is that game? Oh no, I can't think of it. There was another game I played this year that kind of reminds me of, but I can't remember the name.
it'll come back to
It'll
you.
come. Yep.
At 3 a.m. or something.
Yep. Be like, oh, it's that one. Anyhow, it's got a delightful like children's book style to it. And I do like crafting games.
Yeah, I think. Sorry.
So I love the fact that you play as an old woman, which, pun intended, isn't the norm for most games. You know, most games, you know, you're kind of like the young adventurer hero running around doing what you, and in this game you've got an older woman who is very wise in her talents and is very scholarly in her worldly knowledge and stuff, and you get to use that to your advantage.
Yeah, no, it's you're right. You know, you don't get a lot of like characters that are older and you play as a little old lady, as a witch, an old witch
with an upturned cauldron as a head.
But I do like that it's a crafting game. I love like especially in RPGs. I love the like. When you go out in the world and you get ingredients and it's like, oh, I can make this thing now, and it's so I feel like, oh, this game's kind of made for me. I just love I like RPGs and this has taken more of a focus on the crafting and gathering aspect of it, which is fantastic. It's 10% off right now to the 16th of December, and it's £13.94, and it's standing at 97% positive with 93 user reviews.
That's really good. And this looks so interesting. I really want to check it out. But yeah, Wytchwood by Alientrap, it's 10% off right now until December 16th, and it is $17.99. Very neat looking. Okay, so that is Wytchwood. On to Friday, December 10th, Touryst. The Touryst.
The Touryst. Discover exotic islands and explore ancient monuments. Climb into deep mines and uncover secret passages. Make the trip you always wanted and enjoy the tourist life. An action adventure as varied as real life. 240 FPS supported. Enjoy your vacation.
And again, Touryst with a Y. What is this? Like Inscription, Touryst, Wytchwood. Just like replace the I with a Y, and voila, you can copyright it.
Well, the thing is, it definitely makes these games easier to find, because it's like there's so many games that like have like very common names in them, and it's like there are about 10 different games with the same sort of names, and it's very difficult to find them. Oh, there's Tato. He's going crazy.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's actually a really good. Sometimes it annoys me, especially with when they used to always be games ending with the letter Z, just for no reason. And I get it, like it helps it be searchable, but being more creative, like replacing a vowel, or here's a genius tip, just use a Middle English spelling of a word. Voila. Just opens up a whole world of possibilities. What the downside to it is that when someone says the name of your game, like jail used to be spelled G-A-O-L. No one's going to be typing G-A-O-L to find your game.
It's still spelled like that here.
Oh, it is? Oh, they still how they spell in the UK. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe that wouldn't be as difficult. But yeah, just kind of Middle English spellings and some archaic spellings it's a really good way to go along with that. Anyhow, me rant over.
Especially if you want to stand out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I spoke to a developer at EGX Res, and it's where they showcase a lot all indie games, and the developer says, your game basically lives and dies on its title. You've got to get the title right. You really do. So yeah, but this game, I know you don't like voxel style games, but I do quite like the look of this. I am very curious how this plays. I'm wondering if it's like you get like a lot of quests or something, or it's just like you can just like explore and just happen upon something to do kind of thing. So yeah, I'm very curious about how this like the mechanics, the nuts and bolts of this is.
I think as far as voxel styles go, this is one of the better
this is definitely one of the better ones.
Well done. So it kind of gives like a Lego feel, which a lot of people are a big fan of Lego games for that childhood nostalgia of building Legos when you were a kid. So that being said, I don't think you'll get much of the voxel building that you usually see with stuff like this, which is probably a bit of the on the refreshing.
Yeah. There's only currently 5 user reviews. It's 10% off right now till the 17th of December. It's £13.94.
It's by Shin'en Multimedia, 10% off, $17.99. Potentially, I do like the puzzles that I'm seeing. There's a little bit of puzzles, a bit of casual 3D platforming. It does have a lot of features, and they have been really creative with some of their artwork. So it's, again, not a super fan of the voxel art style, but this one does it in a way that I can very much tell that none of this was like an asset flip or like an asset pack that they bought. So it's all very handcrafted, and I'll give them kudos for that.
I do wish there was a demo to it, just so you could see how it plays and how you get into the story, or just a bit more about it. Really,
a demo can almost never hurt. So
yeah.
All right, on to Sunday. Well, unless your game actually sucks, or
the demo is the game.
Yes.
Sunday, December 12th. Cleo, A Pirate's Tale.
Cleo is a solo-developed, top-down, pixel art, retro pirate adventure with a lot of nostalgic flair, humour and a linear story, inspired by the old Zelda games and the classic LucasArts adventure games.
Funded in 2020 and it's already out. Holy crap.
Yeah, I really enjoyed playing the demo for this, and I was excited. I put it on my wish list. I was quite excited for it to come out. At the beginning, there's like a little bit of combat, but the combat is very simple. You just have to click one button to like slap around the enemies pretty much, and then it moved on to very traditional sort of like point and click elements to it. It was delightful. What I played in the demo, it was absolutely delightful. So I'm very, very curious as to like where the story takes you. It's and it looks fantastic.
It almost has that sort of Pony Island feel, but with more, like the environments especially, the pixel art reminds me of Pony Island, but, more pixely and more, because the thing with Pony Island is the art style's not always very consistent. Is it Pony Island? No, what am I thinking about?
No, I was going to say Pony Island.
No.
Yeah, I was...
No. What's that adventure game where he's on an island and it's, what is that called?
Monkey Island.
Monkey Island. I'm thinking Monkey Island. I'm sorry. Monkey Island, not Pony Island. That's another game. Monkey Island. The arts, the environment art really reminds me of that a lot, but more pixely, and I feel like more consistent, because Monkey Island, to me, it's very old, but it has kind of some of those weird inconsistencies to it, whereas this really seems to have just that style nailed down.
See, you're getting Monkey Island vibe to where I'm getting Day of the Tentacle vibe.
Yeah, I guess I can see that too. Yep.
Sorry, Ruby.
No, it's just but yeah, it's probably this is probably a homage to kind of Monkey Island style games, and I feel like on Kickstarter, after Tim Schafer revealed his point and click game, there were a lot of suddenly there were a lot of people putting their point and click game on Kickstarter and saying, "Oh, it's like a homage to Monkey Island," and there was a couple of like pirate games as well, and they just did not have the feel to it as much as they wanted to be funny and like have these great puzzles and everything. They just did not have that at all. But this definitely has that feeling to it. It's from what I played. Then again, it could be a case of, as we saw with Backbone, having a very great tight narrative in the demo, and then playing the actual game, it actually goes completely off the rails and just like is not such a great experience. So buyer beware. There is the demo if you would like to give that a go and see for yourself. And it is currently 10% off right now to the 19th of December at £10.25. There are only currently 3 user reviews.
Yep, that is $13.49 USD. Of those 3 user reviews, 1 is a full playthrough, and they say that it takes about 6.5 hours for a full playthrough. But yeah, all of the reviews are positive so far. Granted, this just came out today, so we shall see what how it's going to review further. Anyhow, that is the end of our release list, and so now we're on. Before we go to the best of the week, we've got a couple special segments this year because we're coming towards the end of 2021. And so we all had a chance to play at least some 2021 release games, and we've got some thoughts. So first of all, we've got the best of the year. And so starting off with that, we're going to go like each give our 5th choice for that. And I guess guest first, HappyKitty.
So it's a bit of a bigger game, but it's kind of been anticipated as the spiritual successor. I put as my number 5, Back 4 Blood.
Oh, really? So did this give you that Left 4 Dead feeling
It really
you needed?
did. It really did. And I love Left 4 Dead 2. I haven't been able to pick this up, but I was invited to play in the beta. And I've seen, I have friends that have picked it up since then, and they really polished some of the stuff that was kind of buggy or just not quite right with the beta, which I'm glad to see. There's a lot of different ways you can play the characters. There's a lot of different ways you can go through the levels, and it's got that kind of horror laugh narrative that Left 4 Dead had, or at least Left 4 Dead 2 had. So I'm really, really glad that they decided to stick with that, and it's not too serious, but it doesn't make fun of itself too much either.
Oh, so in this, they're not like filming a movie, though. They're like...
No,
okay.
This is like actually happening. Like, this is the world as it is. But the characters, the characters are all intertwined. They've got their own stories that you can go through and experience, and they have certain interactions with the other characters as well. So it's got a bit of world building with it, and there is a linear plot that you go through with the different levels, and it does progress. It does tell a story.
Very cool.
Nice.
All right. Rhodey, what is your 5th pick for best of the year?
All right, so I'll take you back to the beginning of the year, and this was going to definitely end up on my top games of the year. It's Everybody Wham Wham. It is so good. It is so good, and they did a free DLC recently as well, which is it was just awesome. They did like a Halloween update, and then there's Wham Wham's Redemption. So yeah, fantastic. It's, you compete to build the best snowman in a story-driven winter adventure, and there's I think all the developers that are part of this, they were they all have like a musical background as well. So like there's the radio playing in the background, and there's all these like different songs going on and everything. And it's just like about you're also building friendships while it's going on as well, and you can also, if you I won the fair and square kind of way, but you can also win in a maybe not so fair and square way by like stealing like either pushing people's like snowmen over or something, or taking their decorations from their snowmen. So yeah, just look, there you go, just sabotage happening, is fantastic. But yeah, yeah, it's like, why did you do that? It's so mean. But no, I did not do that because I felt like, so when I actually played it, because you're only given a certain amount of time to build your snowman, and I felt like the short amount of time you're given to do that, it's much quicker to just run straight to the decorating table, grab everything, and then just run back and just like, just go put all this stuff on. So yeah, as long as you got to the decorating table first and quickly made your selection with the theme that they gave you for that day, you're pretty much likely to win it. So yeah, that was what I picked. And yeah, it's just so funny and fun. I'd recommend, if you're in the mood right now, the cold winter's nights, and you're in for some game of snow and fun and a ridiculous competition, definitely pick this one up. It's only $5.99, and there's like 2 DLC. So yeah.
Oh man, it does. This one was so funny to hear about when you first reviewed it. So really, it's so cool that they did that free update. That's awesome. Another game that has made a reputation for free updates is Blue Fire. This was a game that I definitely put in my 5th favorite of the year that I've played, and it has an interesting start. The first few zones really don't look very interesting, and so I didn't get a particularly great first impression of this game, I will say. It's in this castle, it's all very gray and bland, and I thought that was going to be the whole game. Eventually, you do start to go to more biomes, and it gets more visually interesting, and there's some more, and the story just kind of gradually reveals itself to you, largely through the gameplay and not really through dialogue or anything. But it's quite fun. It's a challenging 3D. It has challenging 3D platforming, and it's got some decent combat that I suck at. But yeah, so I would say Blue Fire easily gets my 5th place this year. So on to 4th place, HappyKitty.
So 4th place for me is kind of going back to the beginning of the year as well, and maybe more towards the middle, is The Room 4. I'm a huge fan of the Room games, and The Room 4 really put it answered questions as well as gave more questions. Wow. But it was really well done. I enjoyed the puzzles. Some of them were a bit on the trickier side, and I love the fact that there were flips that you had to do. That being said, I feel like there was more that they wanted to do. I don't know how, but I just get the impression that there was more that they wanted to tell with this story. So, that being said, I'm kind of hoping that we get a Room 5 soon. But it really does tie up a lot of loose ends. And I had a lot of fun doing it. And this is something that I do every year. You know, I've got a couple of game groups that I do throughout the year. You know, Portal, The Room. Sometimes I do some retro stuff too, like Quest for Glory or something like that. But I'll just like do a block for a month of a certain type of game series. And I look forward to going back and seeing how much I remember and how much I just out of my head. But it was a lot of fun. Like I said, it was very interesting puzzles. And if you're a fan of The Room or the Room series and you haven't had a chance to try this, I highly suggest you go out and pick it up because it is a well done game.
Awesome. I need to play this series.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I really need to because everyone who I know has played it has just like it's an experience. You have to check it out. Rhodey, what's your number 4?
Right, so my number 4 was very difficult to pick from. So I was thinking, should I pick Unpacking, Mini Motorways, Sizable? But no, I in the end I went with Luna's Fishing Garden. So I love my kind of like relaxing cut type games, so I think that's why I was struggling to pick what my 4th game was going to be, my number 4 was going to be. But I think I liked like all just the whole of this kind of like development of it as well. So because the dev does like a monthly updates about his games, and there's like a little nod as well to the previous game that he did as well. And it's like it's relaxing, it's fun, it's cute, and it's very reasonably priced as well. The dev was going to like do something like just like a game that wasn't like much to it, but he then decided like to expand it a lot more and add story to it as well, and it ended up being this like really quite poignant game, and it's only $6.99.
Yeah.
So,
and the most recent major update was right back in October, not that long ago. My word, that's so cool to see. This is good, and from what I understand, it's like maybe 2, and sometimes I think they contract a 3rd person to do work on this. It's a really small Eastern European team. And it's just so cool to see what they've been able to do. And they've got this beautiful style. I'm really looking forward to the future releases.
Yeah, they've already announced like their games that are coming out soon. So Laser Galaxy 2 is going to come out very soon. He's also got a short hour-long game. It says it's more of a visual novel kind of game that's coming out. That was announced, and he said that's coming out in February. So another team that they're just like publishing the game, that they're not personally developing it themselves. I think it's Crown something.
Yeah, Crown of Pain, which is a roguelike.
So Cold War Games is not developing it, but they're publishing it. So yeah, there's lots coming out from that developing team. So yeah, it looks like a bright future.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear it. And again, it's in that pixel art space, so I'm a fan. All right. As for my 4th choice this year, I would have to say it's Hunt Down. So this is a kind of love letter to the 1980s movies, which I didn't really start watching until I was well into my 20s. I didn't see any like Schwarzenegger movies or anything like this, and this one just leans really heavy into just the 1980s feel, and it's very tongue-in-cheek, but it's also kind of grim and serious. It's really fun. The bosses are hard. I've not beaten this game. It is quite difficult, but each of the characters have their own strengths. And so sometimes if you can't beat the boss, you just swap characters. But if you swap characters, you got to start the whole level over. So, but it's very fun. I've just liked what I've seen. So Hunt Down, excellent pixel art, and it's excellent gameplay. Really difficult. But I like it a lot. So it comes into my 4th place.
I really do like the style of it. You see like other like Golden Axe or other games that are like 80s made and everything like that, and they just don't look as intricate as this one. And the art style's like really fantastic. It's got that retro kind of feel, but it's been updated.
It looks like it's got a lot going on, but it's not quite overwhelming.
Yeah.
So this looks like a really interesting game, and this missed my radar somehow.
Yeah, it's great. Oh, and also, like, have you ever seen that movie Escape from New York?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have like different gangs that each have their own theme, kind of like that. It's so cool. But yeah, it's so fun. Really glad that I did end up checking it out, and maybe I'll try to finish it someday. So on to your third choice, HappyKitty.
So I had a lot of fun with this one, and I've gotten a couple of friends to try it as well, and their reactions was absolutely horrifying, yet delightfully entertaining. My number 3 was Happy Game.
Oh yeah.
I was so excited when this came out. This had been on my wish list since I had heard about it, and I was just, it delivered more than I was expecting, and it has replay value. That, mind you, doesn't have a whole lot of replay value, because at this point you're pretty much going to see how fast you can get through it, and maybe go for the Steam achievements. But it is sick. It is horrifying. It is disturbing, and it's an absolute delight. I was very happy with this game.
Yeah, I'm really happy to hear it, because I know we talked about this back in October, and we were all just kind of looking at it like, what is this? So I'm glad to see it was right there for someone. Awesome. And it seems to have been pretty well received, so that's good to see.
The people that I have introduced this game to hate me and love me all at the same time, simply because of this. They hate me. They hate that I introduced this game to them, but they had a lot of fun playing it.
It's so good.
All right.
And it was fun watching them go into it blind.
Oh yeah,
I didn't say
I can imagine
anything about
so.
the game. It's like, here, play Happy Game. What kind of game is it? It's a happy game. And then they get into it and they're like, oh, Kitty, what have you done to me? What is this? Oh God.
All right, Rhodey, what is your third choice this year?
So there's definitely been a bit of overlap here. So, but that's good. That's good. This just means the game is fantastic. So my third choice is The Room 4. So yeah, this is, again, I have to agree with Kitty. This iteration has like a tighter narrative, and it seems like it's going somewhere. And I want to see what the next installment, where that's going to take me, because I think the other rooms, it's kind of just like, it's almost self-contained, and you kind of just like, oh well, I played that was great, but then you don't think about it. But this one, it was like, oh god, where are they going to go with it next? What's going to happen? Is it, the secret's going to expand? You know what I mean? It's so good. It's so good. And they still, even though they could charge more for it, they still kept it at a really reasonable price. It's only $6.99, which is, is great. And it always looks great. And this one, looks fantastic. And it's I felt like this one was a little bit more emotional as well. I feel it definitely, I definitely got that.
Yeah, you got two different story narratives from two people who used to live in the house, and you get to see kind of the descent into madness, and then the person who is watching this person descend into madness. And it was really a really interesting take on on the story and what they were what they were trying to accomplish with it, and I think they did very well.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Really enjoyed it, and again, like HappyKitty, cannot wait for the next iteration.
All right. My third choice is probably not that much of a surprise to folks who've been watching lately, but my third choice is Banners of Ruin. I picked this up a while ago, and I've been talking about it pretty regularly to a lot of folks. But this is Slay the Spire with animals, with furries. But anyhow, it's really cool. It's kind of reminds me of it's a very Redwall setting, but like, if Redwall had less hope, because like, you know, in the Redwall books, it's all about kind of hope and faith and moving forward and conquering like really terrible enemies. And it's like, in this one, it's very morally gray, very drab. You're on a mission, and there's a corrupt prince, and I'm still trying to uncover the story because they do this neat thing of kind of gradually feeding you the plot line. And I've made it to the final boss of like the first successful run, and it really seems to be hinting at me that there's gonna go something past that. And I'm really curious to see, because there's a lot of scenes here, like in the trailer, I haven't seen yet. So I'm like, when do those guys show up? Or when does this happen? I don't know. So I'm pretty excited to see. It's a great game. The tutorial is terrible. I would say skip the tutorial and just play the game straight up, because that tutorial was so confusing. I feel like even though I've died because I didn't understand a mechanic, I eventually figured out what the mechanic was. Just by playing, and I think that's much more valuable. So, but yeah, it's developed by Montebello. I look forward to the future of this game. I think it gets regularly updates. Yeah, they get updates. So, and there's DLC and such. So I'm quite curious to check it, continue playing it. That's Banners of Ruin. Okay, the runner-up. Who is your second choice, HappyKitty, for Best of the Year?
Well, I hope this isn't going against the rules, but I chose a community-made mod for Portal 2, Portal Reloaded.
Portal Reloaded.
Yes. It tells a whole new story.
It's got a listing on Steam, it counts.
It is a free community mod. The people who put this together put a lot of love and support, and you can tell that they did whatever they could to keep the spirit of the game when this. So you're thinking in time travel. So you get to solve these puzzles going back in time while using your other two portals, and it was a really unique take on it. I absolutely enjoyed it, and it is going to be part of my portal rotation from now on. And it was just, the community put so much love into some of these mods and stuff, and it's really great to see that they can put it out on a release level and just say, here, we made this for you because we know you love the game just like we do. Have fun with it.
Nice.
And it tells a whole different story as well. You play as a different character. You've got a different antagonist. And there are two endings.
Wow. So
if I played it, I'd get the bad one.
So you've played Portal Stories Mel, right?
Yes, I did.
So
and
this
I
kind of
had a lot of fun with that one as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved Portal Stories Mel. To me, that's canon, at least in my head. I love that game, and it's cool to see another game just take the Portal story onward, even though it's not official, but it can be official in my head. So That's cool. All right, but yeah, that's Portal Reloaded. Awesome. All right, Brody, what is your runner-up?
So I definitely had to put this on my wish list somewhere. My best game somewhere, and it is The Good Life. It is. I had so much fun with this. It was even though there's like some like really janky moments in this, it was just like there's just so many random things. The fact that you can turn into a cat and a dog because you are now staying in this village, and you know there's been a murder, and although that's not your priority to kind of solve it, you're still like looking for all of the kind of mysteries in the village, and you know, to get around everywhere you ride on a sheep. It's you know, it's there's so many side quests, so many fantastic side quests to play through, and you're taking pictures as well to make some money. It's just delightful fun, and the only reason I've not completed it is because when it first came out, there were a few side quests that I wanted to make sure that I finished, just in case the main story kind of like cut you off from completing them. And unfortunately, you know, there wasn't like there's not a game guide that's been completed sort of thing. So maybe I'll like go back and say, all right, how do I complete this side quest, because some of them are like super fiddly. Like they were doing like one quest and it was like super fiddly, and I didn't know like how to quite complete it. And there's like a community forum on Reddit, and like we were all like filling that in and like how to complete certain quests and stuff. So yeah, it's you know, ongoing process. It is like stupid and intriguing, and I love it. And I think it's and it's such a big game as well. There is a free demo if you're curious and want to give it a try. I did kickstart this, and I highly recommend it as well. One of those Kickstarters that I have no regrets about. Is $23.99. So it is on the pricier side.
The Good Life. This was actually a lot of people doing their sort of 2021 wrap up, and this was on for a YouTuber. This was on their most disappointing game list for 2021, which he gave good reasons. But I was just like, I'm really happy that you very much enjoyed it, because there did, of course, when it launched, there were bugs, and there were and some of the flow is very different from some sweary games. So yeah,
I think if you were just going in like if you played like sweary's other games and you were hoping for the sort of same kind of like flavor or the same kind of like scary story sort of thing, you're not going to find that here. It is very much, you know, there's a mystery there, but it doesn't have that sort of same kind of, I'm going to say, warped kind of like grotesque things going on. It is really wholesome, other than like there is a murder at the beginning sort of thing. But yeah, it's really fantastic.
Awesome. And it's got such a beautiful like depiction of the English countryside too. So
yeah.
All right, my runner-up this year, though, was Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. I love this
Some of the
game.
names for these games are absolutely wonderful.
I love this game. It's so wholesome in that you're committing all these crimes, some of them quite heinous, but it's in a cute way, so it's okay. Oh my word, I loved the story of this game, because there's like the surface story that's all funny, vegetable puns, and you know, kind of cute and funny, and then there's the more serious backstory plot line, as well as like the fate of the world plot line, which had a moment that was actually like choked me up a little bit. It was kind of sad, but it's just a fantastic game, beautiful art style. Really funny premise that continues through the entire thing. And yeah, I like it. It's got some additional content that I haven't checked out, like the train content, which is more of a kind of Binding of Isaac roguelike thing. But the main story is just the straight up plot RPG that you could finish. It took me about 3 hours to do. I did in 2 sittings, and yeah, I'm very happy with how it ended. I was very satisfied. It at $15, having played it, I think I would still choose to buy it on sale, but it is very, very good. Because I know the mileage may vary on different players, but I very much love this game. It was the favorite game out of that Humble Bundle. So, yep. Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. All right, so for our number ones, HappyKitty, what is your number one choice?
Well, it's a game that I've known has been in development for a couple of years. I know one of the devs for it. He's a semi-big person on Twitch. Perhaps you've heard of him, Mr. Jack Lathier. Of course, my number one would have to be Unmetal.
Ah, yes.
It was a great game. I played a wonderful homage to the retro style with its pixel art. It had wonderful writing for the story. There was a huge twist at the end. And it's just, if you love the Solid Snake series, you would probably love this as well. And the fact that they got so many people to participate in this, because you can actually, and it's a free DLC. You can get some of your favorite YouTubers as voice actors for this game.
Wow, nice.
And it was a lot of fun. There are so many things to do. It's got a lot of replay value for the simple fact that there are trophies and stuff, and there are special ways that you can defeat the boss, and there are challenge modes, and it is so much fun. I had so much fun playing this, and I cannot wait to go back and play it again.
Awesome. Yeah, it looks so fun. It's on my wish list. I'm definitely gonna have to follow this one up as well. Rhodey, what is your number one?
Oh, so yeah, after like I was racking my brain, and I this why the last week and a half I've been like really like playing a lot of games that I purchased in the sale, or getting games in the sale that I think maybe this is going to be my number one, because I think 2021 for me has been a bit of a year in terms of games. There's not been a lot that has been like the big titles for me that have like really stuck out, but picked up this game and I was like, this is the one, and it is Toem. So Toem. And yeah, it's just like you set off on adventure to see all of Toem, and you get given these you've got a community book that you are given like quests to help people out, and if you help a certain number of people out, say help like maybe 7 or 9 people out, you'll get a free you just get a free bus stamp so you can go on to the next area, and so you can just do the minimum amount of these quests, or you could do like all the quests and help everybody out in that area. And it's just so quirky. There's lots of like secrets in it. The characters just like really cute. It's just like very wholesome. And there's just like quite a lot of like comedy moments in it as well, and it's got like a really I really like the ending as well. I really like the ending, and I loved it so much. I went in and I got all of the achievements So with that, I racked up 6.8 hours on there.
Wow.
So yeah, I highly recommend this game. It is currently £15.49. That's full price. So yeah, and it's standing at overwhelming. Well, current recent reviews, it's standing at overwhelmingly positive with 98%, with 125 user reviews. 98% with overall 447 user reviews. So yeah, it is well loved.
It's such a beautiful. It's got great style to it.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah. Yeah, that's an excellent choice, Toem. Again, for folks who've been talking to me, they might suspect what my game of the year was 2021, but it is Loop Hero, by a country mile. This year, again, I definitely jive with your opinion that this year was kind of a quiet year for gaming. Looking at my library, 2020, I have a huge library of 2020 games. 2021 was kind of a quieter year. I think the indie space still did great, but AAA, AAA or the AA or the larger games, just not much came out that really interested me. But this year, Loop Hero is a fascinating take on the roguelike genre, where it's a combination of roguelike and idler, but it's an idler you really can't leave, because they're if you let it go, you're dead. So it's an idler, it's a very active idler. And there's so many secrets to find, so many interesting Easter eggs. I'm still trying to find all the tiles, because there's all these weird combinations, for example, if you put a river tile next to a battleground, it becomes a shipwreck tile. There's all these random little things that you end up finding by accident, and the story just gradually tells it, and it's about this sort of cosmic doom has overcome this world, and the only thing that persists are your memories. And so you're just trying to find these things. And so not only your memories, but maybe a rock remembers that it is a rock. And so if you place that rock on a table, that rock remembers being on a table. And so you're trying to expand the world and make it remember itself. And you've got these cosmic beings going no, we destroyed the world, how dare you? And it's got this really super interesting story. A lot of neat kind of Russian inspired artwork and designs. And I'm really curious what the ending is, but I'm still grinding away to get to the ending. It's taking a while, but Loop Hero is a game that I'll continue to play for a long time. I've got 51 hours on record. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic game. So yeah, that is my best of the year, is Loop Hero.
Nice. That was a good choice. Definitely a good choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel it's very much was a good choice. So yeah, it was a good game and interesting. Most of the years I would be nah, this wouldn't be for my first choice, and I wasn't super eager to pick it up either. But once I had it, this game had me. It just had me. It was one of those surprises. Okay, so HappyKitty, how about you start us off on our next segment, Regrets of the Year. These are the 5 games we most regret not playing this year, but really want to get around. So, HappyKitty, what's your number 5?
Well, it's going to be a pretty recent review. A highly cute game. Arachnophobes beware. Web.
Oh, Web. Okay.
Yes, it's very cute. It's got that wonderful, puzzle solving environment going on, and they're so adorable. I'm a spider fan because I believe spiders are good for the environment. They do a lot of good. I can understand why people might be upset with spiders because they look weird, but they're not there to hurt you. They're there to help you. Be nice to the spiders. But yeah, no, this looks like an absolutely lovely game, and I've yet to pick it up, and I've seen some people do some playthroughs of it. Not complete playthroughs because I don't want to spoil myself, but yeah, it looks like a wonderful little adventure, and I am looking forward to when I can pick this up and play it. And yeah, no, I regret not picking it up yet.
Yeah. There seems to be a lot of great characters in tests, like there's the Fly Lord. There seems to all be these all very interesting characters and stories going on that, it's just a bunch of bugs. So it's an interesting idea. All right, so that is Webbed. Rhodey, what is your fifth choice?
So, I had to pick Lacuna, sci-fi noir adventure. So, why I want it? It's a detective game. I just love detective games, and it's kind of it's sort of set in the near future, and it looks fantastic. It looks fantastic. Why I haven't picked it up yet? I think a lot of the games that I've picked up this year have been like quite sort of happy and wholesome kind of games, and maybe that I just wasn't in the. I'm just not in the right mood to play something like this right now. So yeah, but it is 40% off right now, and it's £7.43, and that's till the 22nd of December. And it is standing at 94% positive overall, with 587 user reviews. So yeah, it's it just got fantastic pixel art, and I'm just very intrigued about it.
I love near future sci-fi where it's like we're spacefaring, but we're still just in the solar system. I love that kind of midpoint where we're not quite exploring the stars yet, but it's such a cool setting to me. I love that. I love that sci-fi. So I really want to pick this up as well someday. But yeah, Lacuna, awesome. Yeah, we already did HappyKitty, so I guess it's my turn. All right, so my fifth choice was Romino's Adventure, which will it find it? No, why? No. Romino, there we go. There was a space in there. All right. Romino's Adventure is I'm most intrigued by. It's developed by a solo dev, Interdan. It just has this awesome combination of Tetris and platforming. I love the idea of taking two old ideas and meshing them together into something entirely new. And that's what this developer really did. And it's so striking. I really want to play this sooner rather than later, I hope. So Romino's Adventure was definitely my choice. It's only $11.99, and it's a solo dev, and I love supporting solo devs, but it's got some great style to it, and just it's the product of a brilliant mind. Yep, so that's my fifth choice. HappyKitty, what is your fourth regret of the year?
So this one is a story narrative. It's kind of a bit of on the dark side, but it gives you a new perspective for something that you might not have thought of. And my number 4 was Adios.
Adios.
You don't get a whole lot of.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, you don't get a whole lot of story-driven narratives like this. It's really interesting, and I love the story take for it, and it's just so intriguing, and I find myself wanting to know this story.
Yeah, this one's a really dark one because it's all about mobsters and body disposal and all that, but it's got this kind of contemplative pacing to it there. And it's been pretty positively received, and you can pick it up for just $18. But yeah, that's a good choice. Adios. Rhodey, what's your number 4?
So my number 4 is Escape Simulator, and I love like escape room games, and this one so you know, like The Room and everything, but this one is you can play and best played with 2 to 3 players. So I would be definitely curious to see how I play with maybe a couple of people would want to give this a go. So yeah, I haven't gotten around to picking this up, but yeah, and also I wonder what the 2 or 3 other players would be. I have an idea maybe. But it's also a shame that this doesn't come with packs of 3 or something that you can, you know, give to your friends. Say, hey, how about we play this together? Because that definitely would help to sell a few more copies. But it is standing at 94% positive, with like nearly 2,000 user reviews, and recently it's overwhelmingly positive at 95% positive with that 1,000 user reviews. And it is 20% off right now at £9.59.
I love that it has community support as well, so there's going to be a never-ending stream of of puzzle of escape rooms. So hopefully they have a way to like have a rating so you can see what the most popular and positively reviewed ones are. So yeah. Okay, that is your number 4. On to mine. My number 4 is Garden Story.
Yeah, I was going to put this on my list as well.
Maybe it's just because I just finished like Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, but I can't think of another game to put in my 4th place, and I was just like, oh, this one looks so cute. There's a bit of farming sim to this, but it's an action RPG. It's so darn cute. And I'm just not done with like playing with vegetables. So I really want to see what sort of world, what sort of interesting take they have on this one. I want to go on an adventure with a little plum. So that's Garden Story. I'm really interested where this one goes. So yeah, that's my 4th take. It is $20, which is probably the reason I haven't picked it up yet. But it's very positive, and it's developed by Picogram. So
yeah, that was one of the reasons why I hadn't picked it up, because of the price, definitely.
Yeah, I still might end up like cracking and getting it, but we'll see. Number 3. What is the third game that you most regret not playing? HappyKitty.
So, Fate of Kai. I really love the idea that this was kind of a comic storyboard adventure that's kind of a pick your own adventure for it. And the art was absolutely beautiful, and the story that they're going for, and the different ways you can interact with it and try to solve these puzzles is really a unique take on this type of genre. And I want to pick it up, and I haven't had the chance, and that's number 3 on my list.
All right, Rhodey. Oh, and you played Fate of Kai, didn't you?
Oh no!
Okay.
This is I even did pick this one up, but I haven't gotten around to like playing it yet. So no, it's definitely like one I would I am going to play eventually. Definitely, it just looks so great. It looks so fantastic. But my number 3 is Coffee Noir.
Oh.
Yes. So I absolutely loved the demo, and then when it finally got released, and it's like it's nearly 20 quid, and I was like, no. no. It's fantastic. It's part detective story and part coffee management simulation game. You've got to get your claws into the sort of the coffee barons, the coffee sellers, the big sellers and distributors and coffee shops, and you got to find out who's committed a murder. For you're doing a favor for the I think it's the person who was murdered. You're doing a favor for them basically, or their daughter, I think. So yeah, it was so entertaining. I really love the setting because it's kind of this like it's neo London, but yeah, it's still got this like old timey like feel to it. It's really it's so fantastic. But yeah, that's the only thing that's putting me off is the price.
Yeah. I think that's a really cool idea. It's like 1950s style persisted up until the 2020s or something, the 2030s. It's very cool. Alrighty, Coffee Noir. My third choice is also no stranger to this show. It's been long anticipated, Eastward.
Yes.
This game has captivated me with its trailer for the longest time. It just has this kind of almost a Last of Us style narrative where it's just like this grizzled old guy just traveling with this adopted daughter, basically, that he just found. It was like, well, and they're just trying to survive in this post-apocalyptic world that has just so many interesting style choices, and it looks like such a rich, fleshed out world. I just definitely want to pick it up someday. It's just I have a lot of RPGs that I have to play, and just getting around to it. And honestly, there's games that are higher up on my list that are probably going to keep me from getting to Eastward for a while, because it does seem to be quite a big game. So, but it's got 9,000 plus reviews, 86% positive, and it's 25 buckaroos. But yeah, that's Eastward. All right, HappyKitty, your runner-up for the one that you most regret not playing this year.
It's gonna be a card game, Inscription. Horror-based card game. I heard it was coming out, and it's just like, this is right up my alley. Why have I not picked it up yet? I'll tell you why I haven't picked it up yet. Finances are tight.
Yeah.
But that being said, I've got a couple of friends that have picked it up, and they absolutely love it. It's intriguing, it's a little different, and it's just a horror card game. I never thought I would see those two genres put together like this, but it's definitely intriguing, and it's a runner-up for a reason.
This one, I almost put this one on my list, but I'm too scared of it. But it does, the gameplay seems exactly what I would be into. So, except it's scary. But yeah.
It's fine. Turn the lights off. You'll be good.
Okay, turn the lights off. Yep. Roadie Pie, what is your runner-up for the one you must regret not playing?
So, my runner-up is Chicory, A Colourful Tale. That's CHICORY.
Boop. There we go.
So, yeah.
Chicory.
It's, so, the reason why I've not picked this up and played it, it's by the same people who did Wonder Song, and I found Wonder Song it was a game that definitely overstayed its welcome, and at times was incredibly fiddly, and there's certain mechanics that made it a bit repetitive. But with this, I'm still very curious about it because WonderSong is such a great story, and I'm wondering if like that's kind of has been employed here. It's also by the person who did Celeste as well, so they've combined their efforts and made this. So yeah, it's beautiful, it's colourful, it's cute. So yeah, I'm super curious about it, and it is overwhelmingly positive at 98% with 900 user reviews, and it's currently 20% off for the next 20 hours at £12.39.
Wow, yeah, it looks so good. But I do want to check this one out as well, just for when I'm interested in painting. But again, yeah, it's just when I get around to it. I got such a backlog. My runner-up for a game that I most regret not checking out is The Lost Legends of Redwall, The Scout Act 2. So Soma Games has been working on the Redwall license games, and I haven't played the Scout. I haven't played this one because I haven't played the part 1 yet. So, but I've just been telling myself I want to play this one, and part 3 is scheduled to come out later this month. So, I really want to play it because they've seemed to, the first game launched pretty rough, and they've been fixing it ever since. And due to that rough initial launch, the second game really hasn't sold a lot of copies. But I do really want to play it. I'm really happy that they've continued with the process, even though it hasn't sold that well. They are still continuing on to part 3, which I think is the final one. There's a bit of a stealth element to this game, but it's not super stealth based. There's just stealth moments. For the most part, it's puzzles. And I just love the 3D art style. It's very picture book. It's very cute. And I think that they've done a really great job of capturing the aesthetic of Redwall. So I want to check it out, very much so. Yeah, especially as these were my favorite books growing up. So it's high up there for me. All right, the game you most regret not playing this year, HappyKitty.
So I seem to have a theme going for my number ones with games that I've been following for a while. I saw this one at a PAX a couple of years back when it was still in early stages of development. Boyfriend Dungeon.
Ah, yeah.
This is a wonderful tale where you pick your own partner. You get to pick your boyfriend, and your boyfriend is a weapon that you take on adventures with you in these dungeons. And not only that, but outside of the dungeons, you actually get to go on dates with them. And it's colorful. It's a roguelike. The dungeons are, it's basically set in a mall. And it's a pretty interesting thing, and the fact that they put a dating sim with a roguelike kind of RPG was a really fun style. And Valera is actually one of the developers in the game.
Oh.
Yes, who unfortunately stepped back at the last minutes just before it released, but she gave her blessing for the people who are still working on the game, and it looks just absolutely wonderful. And I haven't picked it up yet because of the price, but it's totally worth the price.
All right,
yeah.
Yeah, this one kind of blends genres and seems to have made something new. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be more weapon dating simulators coming out. Actually, I think it was already a genre in East Asia, honestly. I think it was already a genre.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just kind of picked up from there. Rhodey, what is your biggest regret this year?
I was going to say that was remember that was one that I had picked up and played and completed because it was I backed it on Kickstarter. I would say definitely wait until they've brought out the DLC for it, because when I played it, it felt like an incomplete game. The pacing was just like, it was like, oh yeah, this is really great. Oh, it's finished. What? So that was it. It's like, it's half a game. In its current state, it's like half a game. So yeah, I would totally wait until they brought out all the DLC and the other 2 characters. I spoke to other people that had picked up the game, and they pretty much all said the same thing. So so definitely wait. Give it a wait until they've done that. But my number 1 regret this year, and I'll just say it was an indie game when they first announced that they were working on it, is the Psychonauts 2.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I played Psychonauts 1, and you know that was just an amazing game. It was like, I felt like it was nothing like I'd ever played. Even though it is a platformer, when you first starting off anyway, it like, you know, very much eases you into it, and there wasn't like a lot of like punishment for like messing up kind of thing. It was like, I didn't get frustrated with it until right at the end, right the last one, and then it was just like, this is hell on earth. My god, so frustrating. But yeah, I didn't back this on on their own Kickstarter on Fig, because it was like ridiculously priced, and I haven't picked it up yet again because it is very expensive. It is very expensive, and I just don't. All right, full price. It's like 55 quid. Mm-hmm. Of course, it's on offer right now. It says 35% off is 35.74, but for the next 20 hours. But yeah, I can't really like fork out for a game like that currently. But yeah, I will pick it up eventually. It's just I want to go back into that world again. It was just delightful, wholesome, and just so much fun and imaginative.
Yeah, it's such a bizarre looking game. I have no history with the Psychonauts franchise, but it does seem to have been received very well, considering it was one of the contenders for Game of the Year this year. It didn't win, but it did win some other awards, I believe. But yeah, it looks like it's a really faithful continuation of an old game. So I've only heard good things from folks. But yeah, Psychonauts, awesome. And my number 1 regret this year, I actually own this game though, so I have no excuse. Edge of Eternity. This is a really big RPG, hence I haven't started it yet because of, you know, a certain MMO that's been occupying me. But now that I've finished that, I may end up playing this game before the end of the year, or at least starting it. But it was made by a small French team, and they so perfectly captured the JRPG look and feel. They're clearly Final Fantasy fans. And I've heard about this game for a very long time. I think back in 2016 is when I first heard about this game. And it's cool to see that it's finally fully out. It's got its flaws, I've seen from the reviews. It's got its flaws, but I just love me some long JRPGs. So I really regret not having picked this up and checked it out, because who knows, maybe it would have been on my Game of the Year list, but we'll never know. So I do want to play it very, very much. It's just such a beautiful world, especially with all the quality of life they've done and the updates over the time. So Edge of Eternity is my regret that I didn't play. And yeah, those are our regrets of the year. Folks, I guess before we begin our signs off, we do have one more section. and that is Best of the Week, because this week had some great games. And just like, what games did you think were the best, HappyKitty?
So my number 3 was Wytchwood. For the simple fact that the character, I love that they decided to go with an older, wiser character for the main. The crafting, I don't know how I'll get past the crafting. I'm usually not very good at games like that, but if I were to pick this up and play it, I think despite that I would still have a lot of fun. My number 2 was the Touryst. Again, I loved the aesthetic, I loved the art style, I loved the way that they did the voxel mechanic, and I like that they went adventure rather than building with the vox. I thought it was pretty interesting, and I'd like to see what kind of puzzles they put into this game. And my number 1 would be Escape from Logan Escape. Escape from Logan Estate.
Yes.
There we go. Enunciate yourself, Kitty. This was my number 1 simply because puzzles. I love puzzles, and this is a game chock full of puzzles. And I hope that the puzzles are not hard, but not easy. And it'll be interesting playing this game from 3 different perspectives, or 3 different character perspectives. So that was my top best of the week.
All right, Rhodey, what about you?
Yeah, I think like definitely 2 of the same ones that HappyKitty picked as well. So it's like definitely Wytchwood, whereas I'm definitely more for the crafting in that, absolutely, and the Touryst. I'm very curious about that one as well, and I am interested in Escape Logan Estate, but my number 1 was gonna be Looking for Aliens. And that's I do like that kind of hidden folks kind of genre, and this one has also a story to it as well, and it's a bit of a story, so it's like I'm very curious about this, and it's just a nice relaxing game, I think.
Yeah, I think it definitely hits that bill. It's so neat looking. Oh, right. This is a hard week to pick because there's like several that I could name as being interesting, but if I'm gonna narrow it down, I think probably Shadow Tactics, Aiko's choice, just because I think it's convinced me to start picking up the other games. Just seeing the reviews and people like, oh, the story finally got its conclusion, and I'm like, well, I guess I've got to play this series now. So, and of course, Pavel assuring me that yes, you can go in guns blazing if you want, instead of having to rely on stealth. It's like, okay, all right, I'll do it, and I'll do it. I'll check it out. So that is Shadow Tactics, Aiko's choice. I suppose a close behind that would be, just for style, Heavenly Bodies. I thought Heavenly Bodies just looks like it's a bucket of fun. It's just got this really charming style to it. I like it. Heavenly Bodies. So yeah, the neat physics gaming. Now, after we say our goodbyes, we're going to be having, of course, shameless plugging. Next week, folks, I need you to look out for next week, because next week we're going to be talking about our 2022 anticipations. What games are we most looking forward to in 2022? So first, of course, HappyKitty, let the internet know what you're up to. And I've completely forgot how to do any things. I didn't do the bug of the week.
So, you can, there it goes. You can find me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/happy_kitty. I've been doing a lot of Endwalkers, but having finished the game, I'm probably going to back off a little bit, considering, well, maybe not, because I believe the first patch comes out next week. Or is it this week? It comes out very soon.
It's like a week and a half away. It's pretty close, yeah.
Okay, so I might back off for a little bit and then jump heavily back into it, but right now we're focused on the 14 level ups for the other classes. So I might be doing some other games towards the end of the year. I'll probably be a lot more on the lax side, you know, maybe some coloring, maybe some of the card games that I have. Hey, maybe I'll even throw open some Night at the Inventory. We'll see what happens. But you gotta come over and check it out if you want to see what I'm playing. Yeah, that's where you can find me. Awesome.
Rhodey, what about you?
Yeah, you can find me on twitch.tv/RhodeyPie, and I'm usually playing some maybe awful FMV game, or some interesting indie game on there. So definitely check me out. I'm usually on a bit earlier. Trying not to do late night streams now, but you can check me out. And of course, you know, if you want to follow anything that we've spoken about on here, do check out our curator page, as well as follow us on YouTube, and don't forget to give us a like and subscribe.
Yep, thank you. And of course, for those, we're going to be doing the drawing right after the cut, but so for those on YouTube, bye-bye!
Take care, bye! Bye-bye.